Coach Richt addresses the confrontation between one of his coaches and a coach from Vanderbilt.
Fox Sports 1670's Bill Shanks has more in this week's BS Report.
Had an interesting weekend of football this past weekend with a couple of coaching issues that kind of took the forefront of the headlines. First on Saturday in Nashville, Georgia and Vanderbilt. At the end of that game, Georgia defensive coordinator Todd Grantham reacted to James Franklin, the Vanderbilt coach, going after one of his players and went nuts. Then on Sunday, Jim Harbaugh of the 49ers got a little excited at the end of the game after his team beat the undefeated Detroit Lions and kind of gave him a little bit of a violent handshake, and everything went out of control. Are we really getting crazy about coaches going nuts here? I mean, it's football. This is not Pictionary. This is physical play with a lot of emotion going on. Both of those games were very close games where they were all emotional there at the very end. Let's talk about the Georgia game for a moment. Now, Georgia was lucky to get out there with a win, and I don't know what Sean Williams did at the end to make James Franklin upset, but Franklin had no right to really go after him verbally. He should have told Todd Grantham or Mark Richt, hey, Sean Williams did this or that, instead of screaming at him. Because, hey, if somebody's screaming at your kid and they're not supposed to, you're probably going to scream back at them. That's what Todd Grantham did. But the problem was the video that was caught on Monday night from a TV station in Nashville where Mark Richt is apologizing to James Franklin, calling Todd Grantham a name, and pretty much throwing his kids under the bus. You've got to be kidding me now. Come on, Mark Richt, you've got to do a better job of taking up for your players. Maybe the Vanderbilt players were to blame. Maybe James Franklin was to blame instead of going and throwing your players under the bus. And I love to see Todd Grantham for Georgia having a little emotion because we all know Mark Richt is in a coma half the time. Todd Grantham, remember last year he did that choke sign to the Florida kicker? He got on his team the first week of the season only to have Mark Richt calming back down. Todd Grantham is exactly what this team needs, a little emotion, a little energy. But for everybody to get upset and say, well, this is not how coaches should act and not give an example toward young men, give me a break. Again, this is not Trivial Pursuit. This is not some Pictionary tournament. This is football. Emotions are going to run high, and I'm glad Todd Grantham did what he did on Saturday night. As for the two NFL guys, come on. Jim Harbaugh got a little excited. Jim Schwartz was mad because his team lost, and that's why he got upset, pure and simple. Coaches, calm down. You're fine, and the fans shouldn't worry about it either.